guys. Hello, it's Shay. How is everybody? Hi. Sorry, I didn't have any cups prepped, so I had to prep one real quick. Okay, Google, turn it down. So, hello. Look at this wild hairdo, huh? How's everybody doing? Hi, Teresa. I am going to do a cup and show you guys sort of like this one. It's going to be similar to this. Oops, I just sprayed it. Hi, Destin. So I just thought I would show ya how it is that I did this. Ooh, that's okay, Destin. So these are inks, alcohol inks. Whoa. I just got a cup prepped white, and I just grabbed some various inks, alcohol inks. Look at my hair. This is what it looks like when it air dries. Like a lioness. Yeah, like a wild lioness. So I have various alcohol inks, whatever brand is your jam. Those are good. And then I have like a little cup of alcohol. Not that kind of alcohol. You know, whatever that isopropyl stuff is. Actually, I have two little containers sitting here. See, because when I clean my brush between colors, I clean it in the alcohol. So I like to have 1 cup for cleaning my brushes and 1 cup of clean alcohol. And then a third to drink. Just kidding. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Hi, Samantha. So I am just going to go ahead and go to town. It will probably be very similar to this cup. Okay. So we're going to do like purples, pinks, some greens and blues. So let's get this party started. Here we go. How is everybody? Oh, Teresa, you don't know how your internet will pick up. Oh, that's okay. Watch what you can. You can watch it later. I did a really quick job on prepping this, so I hope it's okay. Okay, so what I do is, if you have one of those little like water color trays, you know, you would use if you were watercoloring, they're like round plastic with the little holes in it, or the little cups in it. I would use that, or if you have maybe wax paper, if you are trying to be cautious with your inks. I can't find mine. I know I have one somewhere, but I can't find it. So unfortunately, I'm just going to use a paper plate to catch any of my ink drips, which means when it hits the paper plate, it's pretty much gone. I mean, because it absorbs into the plate, right? So if you have one of those little plastic things and you want to try to, you know, get your ink drips to go in there, I know wax paper works. Really anything plasticky. I mean, I'm sure I could find something, but here's what I'm gonna do. So I just grabbed some random colored inks. I have all kinds of brands. So I just got like some blue and some yellow, a couple pinks. And then I grabbed, last time I only used 1 brush, but this time I grabbed like 4 brushes, just in case, because my brushes tend to get really dirty as I'm doing this. Yeah, that artist palette thing, you know, that you would use if you were mixing watercolors. You can get them at the dollar store. They're like round. I know I have one somewhere, but that's okay. So I just grabbed like 4 brushes. I like the flat ones like this. Here, I'll do this like a pro. So, you know, that's what I mean by flat. And I also like the angled one, because it's all about the angle of the dangle. No, and that's simply because I'm gonna have ink on my brush and I'm gonna be putting it onto my cup. Morning. So that's not to say that you couldn't use, you know, a pointy brush if you wanted. you know, if you wanted to get in and get some details or something, you can use one of these. I'm just showing you how I do it. Hi, Mandy. So I've got my clean little cup of alcohol here, and I'm gonna start big. So I'm gonna take my brush here. Ooh, it's hot. And I'm gonna go, so I'm gonna do like pinks in the middle. So I'm gonna take some of my ink. Can you see? Where can I put it so you can see? And got my ink. I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure my brush is clean by kind of rinsing it off in the alcohol. And so I have my dirty cup of inks, like my wash cup, and then a clean cup, right? So if I want to use any alcohol while we're going, I have a clean cup. Now, it's got alcohol on here, so I'm just kind of lightly tapping it on my napkin so it's not drenched, but it is damp. And then this is what I do. On top of my plate, and if you have something plastic or you have the watercolor little palette thing, that's even better. I guess I could mix them in little individual things, but I'm not going to, because I'm crazy like that. Oh, thanks, Mary. Okay, so I'm gonna get, it's nice and clean, and I'm just gonna drip like 2 drips or one or 2 drips onto the end of my brush here. 1, 2. See? So now it's on my brush, and I'm just gonna hold it and put it right in the middle, because why not? Look at this. It's just spinning. This reminds me of pottery. Look at the magic's just going. So once it goes all the way around, I'm just holding my hand steady. Now I'm back where I started, and not every time, but sometimes I'll let it go around twice. So like the first time I consider that like the application stripe, and then I'm gonna go around again just to kind of even out the colors a little bit, because they have about the same amount. So my brush is dirty. They have about the same amount of ink and alcohol. So see how my brush is dirty with pink? I'm gonna dip it in my dirty ink, because it's really not that dirty yet. And I'm going to, I could go anywhere here. I still have some pink ink on here. I'm expecting it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna go down here, like right on the hump of my cup, and just do another layer. So I'm just holding it here, no pressure. I wish I could, I'm not applying any pressure at all. I could, I don't really see the point. Hi, Marty. See, so I've gone back to the original where I started, and I'm just gonna go probably one more time around. Because, so like when you use inks, you get them on, and you can put them directly on something, or you can dilute them with the alcohol. And if you put it on directly and then you go back, I'm just rinsing off my pink brush in my dirty ink cup. So I'm getting trying to get as much of that pink off as I can. Now, if you aren't satisfied with that and you want to use multiple brushes, go ahead. But what I was going to say was, when you use inks, and you put them straight on, for example, let's go with some purple. I'll put some purple on my brush. So I'm doing just the same thing I did with my pink. I'll try to hold it. I've got my plain brush. I'm still using the same brush. And I'm going to put 2 drops of purple down here at the tip of my brush. 1, 2, 2. So I got purple on there. Holding it like this. I'll try to do it right here so you can see. And I'm just holding it. If I can keep my hand steady, I can get a pretty straight line. So you could do your entire cup with straight lines like this if you wanted. But what I'm going to show you is, now if I go and I get a little bit of alcohol on my brush and I go back over that purple, it's going to make that purple lighter, kind of give it a watercolor effect. And there's really no pressure. The brush is just sitting here on the cup. They're doing all the work. So in this cup, instead of doing perfectly straight lines like I did in this one, in this cup, I did more, I did it a lot looser, you could say. See, they're not perfectly straight lines, and I liked it. Kind of has a watercolor look, whereas opposed to this one, I did just like this, perfectly straight lines throughout. But since I know I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna go ahead, I got purple on here, and I'm just gonna go like this, just like I'm painting something. Can you see? Little ink, a little alcohol on my brush, and I make this purple kind of messy. So however big of a section you want to be purple. So you can see on here, like my pink there in the middle. This is a short tin or can, but it's like an inch. So if you work better, I'm just putting some ink on my brush, and I'm gonna go back in over my purple and just kind of do, just sort of back and forth like this. Now, if I go down here to where my pink is, and then back up here to my purple, that's gonna blend those two colors together a little bit. So I'm gonna take some of this pink here and maybe move a little bit of it up there in my purple. If your brush starts to stick to your cup, it's probably because you need more alcohol on it. So you don't want your brush to be like dripping in alcohol, but you do need a little bit on there. And you can use whatever size that you like. And that's it. She's all done. I just love saying that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna extend this pink into here. So it's like a big stripe of, not stripe, but a big, I'm gonna put all pink here, and then I'm gonna sort of blend it with that purple. Okay, so I've just dipped the tip of my brush into my inks, put a little bit of this pink, 2 drips. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right on here. This pink is really pretty. It's kind of a berry. It's very bright. So I'm just putting it on there, look. Just dusting it on. People are really scared to work with inks. They are so easy. So you got the pink on there? Can you see good? I did not epoxy. So this cup is just primed. That's it. It's just a clean, primed cup. So I'm gonna clean off this pink as best I can in my dirty ink. Wipe it kind of off. And I know that it's not completely clean, but it's much cleaner than it was. I'm gonna go over to my clean cup and just get I'm gonna get my brush just a little bit wet. And now, just by doing that, I have no color on here, just the alcohol. I'm gonna go back over my pinks. I call that like loosening up the inks. In other words, I'm gonna kind of just go like this and sort of brush over them. And that's gonna get me that watercolor look. If it's not doing it enough and you want more, look, I can literally put a drop of ink on there. Wherever I put the ink, the alcohol repels the ink. In other words, if you have a big pink splotch on something, alcohol ink, a big pink alcohol ink splotch, and you put a drip of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, in the middle of that big pink splotch, the ink is gonna hit it and start to repel the ink. So whatever is underneath that pink is now gonna be, so if you had like a white paper plate, you put a pink blob of alcohol ink on it, right? Then you put a drop or two of alcohol, there's gonna be like a little circle in the middle of that pink alcohol, and the alcohol will repel the inks. So there'll be like, you'll drop your ink, there'll be a little circle of white, because that's what's underneath your pink, and that little circle of white's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. It won't go all the way over the pink, depends on how much alcohol you put on. So working with inks, it's almost like working in layers. So the more, now all I'm doing is I'm rubbing my brush down on this pink, and so now I have pink on here. I'm gonna go up into this purple a little, and so forth. I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth like that to sort of blend them. And you can always add more. Like if you start doing it and you're like, I wanna go back and add more pink or, you know, like I'm putting a little purple on my brush because I want to bring some of this purple down here. A little alcohol, go over it. I hope that's not too confusing. Another really good thing is you could practice on tiles with inks. Like go to your local hardware store and get tiles, like 4x4 tiles or whatever they have on clearance, white tiles preferably. Practice your inks on them. When you're done, wipe them away. Just put alcohol on a rag and wipe them away. It would be the same thing if I took a rag with alcohol on it. I could wipe this right off. So when I first started doing inks, that's how I would practice, is on the tiles. Just experiment. So I'm going to clean this off. So you see how it's just kind of, I'm going to get a little bit smaller brush. That's too small. Is this kind of making sense? The primer I put on, I think it was a flat white primer. The alcohol ink has a bit of a shine to it and the light is hitting it. So maybe that might be what you're seeing. The cup is actually a flat white and the shine you're seeing is probably, let's see if I can cover it. It's that glare probably. Here, see? You see? Kind of makes sense. I love alcohol inks, so I could go on. And I know that if you're totally new to alcohol inks, then I might sound like a blabbing weirdo, but actually I'm gonna go back to my big brush here. And I'm gonna put some thick purple down here on the bottom. This is another ink. So I could drop this directly on my cup if I wanted. I wonder if I can spin it towards you. Let's see if that helps. So I could, watch this, if I wanted to put a couple drops of just ink on there. Then I've got my clean brush, dipped in alcohol. I'll wait for it to come around. And I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth. See that purple that's on there? I'm gonna kind of wipe it, almost like a dry erase board. So each time I wipe it, that purple's gonna get lighter. If I want it to remain really vibrant, I need to not wipe it as often or wipe in the same spot over. If I wipe in the same spot over and over, it's just gonna get lighter and lighter. So if you want that, I could put some alcohol in a Q-tip and hold it right here and get basically a white line. You prefer them over glitter? Ooh, then you would like, there's alcohol inks that have like a glitter in them. So, can you see the bottom of this? Sorry, I'm trying to read these. I have a wood grain. I'm working on, oh, I see. Yeah. You need a flat. You're saying you need a flat for the wood grain? Destin, is that what you're saying? So, the other thing is that these dry really fast. So these are dry and I can go up here at any time with the clean brush and sort of loosen it up if I want. Oops, that's the dirty water. So I literally am just going back and forth. It's really what kind of look you want to achieve. And I hope that makes sense. So I could put like a blob of alcohol on there and let it run over if I wanted, and then kind of go back and just, that's how I get sort of like these, it's not a bubble, but it's like they're big sections of color, see? Yes, the pearls. Yeah, the pearls are really pretty. I think I'm out of those. So I'm gonna wash it off the ink. Some greens and blues perhaps, like, I love this color. I don't know, can I talk about, if you wanna know what color it is, you just have to ask and I'll tell you. They don't seem to be as transparent. What are you putting them on? Cups, Gigi? This is my favorite color, yo. I'm gonna put it right up here. And get close down here to the purple. A little bit more. Some clean alcohol. See, I just did it straight on there. Putting 2 drips on my brush. I'm just getting it on there. You could do like, oops, you probably can't see, kind of dab it on. You can do little brush strokes back and forth. I'm gonna get down here next to this pink and purple, and I'm gonna put some here. I've got a clean brush. Go up here, and now that I've ran it through the purple there, I have purple on my brush. I can go up here and run it through some of this blue. That's just a good way to, if you want to blend it. Does it make sense? I feel like I need to do like a couple of these. But see, so I have a clean brush. I'm washing it off. I'm washing my ink brush off in my dirty ink. Look how dirty my inks are now. Isn't that blue pretty? It's a green, it's really pretty. I like clover, yes, I have clover somewhere. So I'm gonna make this blue. I'm just gonna blend. So see what I mean by, if you're still learning inks and stuff, I haven't wasted a whole lot of ink. But if this was in my plastic tray, I could probably just be dipping my brush into my alcohol and then directly into my little palette if it was plastic. But since it's not, and it's paper, my inks have just gone straight into the paper. But I haven't wasted a whole lot, so I don't feel too bad about it. So just by taking my clean brush, right, and dipping it in my alcohol, my clean brush dipped in alcohol. If I want to go over this blue up here and make it not necessarily cloudy, but dimensional layers, right? I could just do little swats like that, little swipes, wherever I want that layer to appear from. Just like that. Now I know that blue color's on here, and I'm gonna put a little down here. So depending on what color you're mixing it with, so I'm mixing this light color up here down here with the purple, and I would imagine it would make a darker blue because it's not going on the straight white. Now I'm getting confusing, sorry. Hey, Luann. Oh, when you're using different colors, Gigi, with your inks. Running to the bathroom to clean my brush when I'm using different colors. Oh yeah, well, are you talking about alcohol inks? Because just get a little, I mean, I run to the bathroom a lot too, but not to clean my brush. Just get a little thing like this to clean your brush, so you don't have to keep getting up. Or you can use multiple brushes if you have those. So the pink, I'm gonna kind of lighten up the pink by, I've got my clean brush and I'm just dipping it in my alcohol. I'm gonna just sort of put some swipes on there to kind of lighten it. It almost has like a cloudy look, right? So the inks will kind of do their magic. And while it's doing that, I'm gonna blend this a little bit more. So when I'm all done with this, I have to seal it before I put resin on. Look how dirty my water is now. And I only put a little tiny bit of alcohol because I don't want to waste it. Yes, it will start. You mean your water or just the alcohols themselves? If you are using alcohol inks and you're doing like the layering like I'm doing, you need to consider what you're layering on. So you might start with a white base and then do a bunch of pinks. Now you have to remember whatever color you're putting on top of those pinks, it's blending with that pink. It's not blending with the white anymore. So if you overdo it, your inks will get muddy. So you do have to take into consideration what you're layering on color-wise. I'm just doing little swipes on my purple down here. To get it kind of blended. Because, and when I say blended, what I mean is that dark spot that I just put this ink on, this brush right now has purple. If I go up here and I put a little bit right here, it's gonna have purple on it. When I say when I'm doing the layering, if I go over a spot, I know that when it dries, it's gonna be a little lighter in that spot because the alcohol is taking off one layer. So that's how you get like this dimensional look. And that's pretty much what I do on the whole cup. So I just work my colors. And a lot of times this patina, which is my favorite color, it turns into a really pretty yellow. So on this one, I'm gonna put a little yellow and then I'm gonna do some gold. There you go. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you, Gigi. I don't even look at the color wheel. I got enough wheels in my head that I don't even use the color wheel. I just use what I think works. And I know for a fact that patina makes a beautiful yellow. So I'm just adding some yellow to my brush. I put 2 drops on there and I'm gonna add it right up here. And then I'm gonna sort of do those light brushes and blend it in with that patina down here. That's all I'm doing. So if there's one, you know, if you're making this for yourself, you would do your favorite colors, obviously. My brush started sticking to my cup a little, so I'm gonna put a little more alcohol on there. Maybe a little patina up here. Oops. So now I would literally, I'm just gonna go back and forth because if I wanna get a dimensional look, like down here on the bottom of my cup where the purple's really heavy, I would just go with a clean alcohol brush. So I've got my little, and eventually this is the cup of my dirty alcohol. It's gonna get too dark. I mean, it'll be like black and I'll just pour it out. That's probably a tablespoon in there. So I just clean it off the best I can, wipe it on a paper towel, get some clean ink, some clean alcohol. And I'm gonna go over my purple down here to get that dimensional layered look. I'm all glistening in the sweat. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is just alcohol on this paintbrush, clean paintbrush, and I'm gonna go and just sort of go little swipes here and there to get a dimensional, so that when it dries, it has that layered look. So the more alcohol I get, the more I'm gonna dilute that purple. So that's in my mind. I hope this is making sense because it's really not difficult, but I could assume, you know, I know I've heard people say that working with ink is petrifying. I'm just putting some of that patina back on my brush and getting up here. It dries really quick, so while that's doing its thing down there, I kind of go up here and work on. So my clean alcohol is actually a little tinted, but it's still pretty clean, considering. I'm just gonna bring some of the green from here, kind of down to the purple line, so I don't have such a stark line. Make sense? Is everybody like, what the heck is that lady talking about? I will do another one because I really think it would help. If you're really interested in doing this, it might help. This is just yellow. Just to see different techniques. But like I said, this is just a white base. So if I wanted to, I could take a washcloth and douse this cup in alcohol and wipe it right off, just like a dry erase board. When I'm all done and I like it and it dries really quick. So you see right here, a big drop of alcohol went here. And you see how it's almost back to white. So if I want to change that, I'm just going to get some color and douse it on there. I'll wait till it goes around so you can see. See? A couple things of blue on here. And I'm just kind of blending them. Super pretty though. So here's a big douse of just ink. Well, it wasn't very big. That'll kind of get me some separation. Almost has like a geode look to it in a way, the way the lines form and whatnot. It totally reminds me of watercolor. I'm just brightening up my yellow here. Now, should I put some gold on? Do we like this color? I'm kind of blend this up here a little bit. I'm trying to get it so there's no real streaky lines, you know, like no solid. I don't want it to look like a pattern necessarily. Where's my pink? I mean, there's so many things you could do. I put a little pink on here. You could come up with some really cool stuff doing this. Cleaning my brush, getting a little clean alcohol. Yeah, gold is really pretty. So, and the gold I use, I'll show you. So I put gold in that last one I did. Can you see the gold in there? Like right there. It's just ink, alcohol ink. So look at the top of this. See those big blotches of pink? I'm gonna go over those with my brush, a clean brush. Because I don't want them to be quite, for me. Now, if you like that, you could leave it. It's really pretty though. I mean, I could literally do so much stuff to this. I'm just dabbing here and there and trying to get the layers. Well, as if you weren't confused, I'm going to use my dirty ink because I don't want to get up. So the gold, if you weren't confused, I'm sure you are now, right? Sorry. I'm gonna go directly on my cup with that. What's that? Look at it. Ooh, we got some gold. I'm just putting some direct drops on there now. Just because I want to try something. And I'm gonna see how it looks. So with your gold, here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my dirty water. I'm just emptying it out and I'm gonna dry it off. So you need a new little container, a clean one or clean the one that you have. And I'm gonna put some alcohol in it. So I just put a little alcohol in there. Don't waste your alcohol. You can always add more, right? Before I do that, I'm going to just clean up those lines right there. I don't like them. They're too perfect. So hang on, and then we'll do the gold. Pretty. Oh, I like that green a lot. That's pretty. Okay, so with the gold, I'm gonna wipe my sweaty face off. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. So you can go as dark or as light as you want on it. And then I would, like right now I can tell that it's wet. I personally do the gold or the silver if I'm gonna put inks as my final step. So I would make sure that the cup is pretty much how you want it to be before you move on to your gold or silver. So before I put the gold and silver on, I would probably sit here and watch it spin and make sure that I'm happy with it. And I might take like a small little brush and do some little details if I want. And in that, I mean, just taking a small brush, dipping it in my clean ink and doing little details, like if I want to put any little lines like this. That would be like what I consider a little detail. Maybe up here a little. Anything that you see that you think you might want to work over, or you're looking at your cup and you go, you know, it doesn't have, I wanted it to have more blue or whatever. You want to do that before, if you can. Like I would have liked a little bit more blue, I think, in here. Okay, so what do you think? I got blue on my brush up here, so I could put blue and up here on the rim if I want. So maybe it would be easier if I was more color specific. Would that be easier? Or was that an okay kind of explanation? I'm putting just big blobs of clean alcohol ink down here. Pretty. So with my gold, that spot on the top, it does look like a sunset, huh? So like I said, I could literally sit here and tweak on this thing. The gold I'm gonna use, where is she? I don't think I got it out. Did I get it out? Here it is. Okay. I'm gonna use my little brush. Actually, you know what? You can use a little brush or you can use a pointy one. I'm using my gold. And here's what I do. There's just one way I do it. So clean alcohol. This is barely tainted. I get my brush is in my clean alcohol, right? And let's say I'm gonna put some gold down here on the bottom. So I drop my ink on, right where I drop my ink on, boom. Right where I drop my alcohol, I do a drop of gold. So I'll do it again. I'm in the alcohol over here. My brush is in the alcohol. I've got my ink in my hand. Here is a drop of alcohol on my cup with a drop, I didn't get it. I'll do it right here. A drop of alcohol and then a drop of ink right on top of that spot. That's the way I do it. Because in my opinion, if you do it that way, your gold will flow with the alcohol that you just dropped on it. If I just took this ink and dropped it on my cup, I would only get a solid gold line that's gonna go around my cup. But if I put a drop of alcohol first, and then I put a drop of ink on top of it, the alcohol starts to move and the ink goes with it. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do it again. And if you wanna use whatever kind of brush, I mean, you could even use a little dropper, I guess, if you wanted, but you don't need that much alcohol. So I've got my brush in my alcohol, and I'll turn it so you can see. We're gonna do it right here on the blue. Now I'm going to, we'll do it right here. I put a drop of alcohol and here's my ink right there. Let me show you what happens if I just put a drop of alcohol. I'll put it right here in the pink. There's just a drop of ink. I don't expect that drop that I did up there is gonna expand very far. So, and it didn't. I would say it's right here on the top and it's 2 inches. All the other ones I did, it was a little drop of alcohol and then a little drop of ink, and it swirled all the way around the cup and even more. So if you don't want it to go all the way around your cup, if you just want like a little section here or there of the gold, then you can do the gold directly on it. But I was kind of hoping for more of a swirly look. So there's the alcohol and there's the ink. The alcohol, the ink, the alcohol, the ink, alcohol, the ink. And you could do as much as you want or as little as you want, right? That was a big drop of alcohol, or of ink. Alcohol, ink, ink, alcohol. Do you see? So that's a good thing to know too when you're working with inks. The alcohol is gonna move your inks, okay? So that's why I was saying before you do your gold or your whatever your highlight color is going to be, whether it's bronze or silver or a metallic pink, whatever you're using, white maybe, make sure your cup design that you're putting it on top of is that you're satisfied with it. Because let's say now that I've got my gold on and I'm looking at this cup and I go, you know, I really don't like the purples on the bottom. Well, all that gold that I put on there is now going to have to get wiped off so that I can get to that purple. And in my opinion, that's just a waste of materials. So make sure that your cup is where you want it to be, and then go in with that gold or silver or highlight, however you want. Got it, Toyota? You're welcome, Luann. I want to see you try it. And if it doesn't work out, wipe it down with alcohol. Try it again. I like it, so I'm just gonna do one more gold here. I like the gold. I think it's super pretty. Boom! Could watch it all day. So the gold is going to float with the alcohol. Now, when it's all done, you want to make sure before you do your resin, you want to seal it. Well, how do you seal it, Shay? there's lots of ways you can seal it. You could use top coat. You could use a clear, just a clear, glossy or flat top coat, doesn't matter. Just a, this says, this is by Rust-Oleum, and it's just a crystal clear enamel. I just spray it. You want to spray your inks. You do not want to put the resin directly on your inks. It will soak it right up and wash it off. Drop of alcohol, drop of ink. But then, because it's alcohol ink, it gets confusing. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. I have, silver is a really pretty highlight. There's a lot of things we can do from this point, but I just wanted to show you how to get to this step. So hopefully you did that and you're not like completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like listening to that explanation. I will do another one to see if, I don't know, sometimes seeing something more than once is helpful. It's super pretty. I like it. So you know, alcohol inks can go on a lot of different materials. But so what I'll do is I'm gonna let it dry. It's pretty much dry. It's, you know, just touch it. If it doesn't feel sticky, then you're good to go. Or if you go to touch it, and as long as you don't see your fingerprints, you don't want to leave any, you know, traces of who you are on your cups. But once it dries, I'll go ahead and give it probably 2 very light coats in this. I spray it, even my artwork that I use inks on, I spray it because inks will fade over time and they do not mix well virgin style on underneath your resin. So you do want to seal it. So I'll do that, and then I'm gonna put some epoxy on her, and unless somebody says they want it and they want some verbiage on it or something. But and that's it. You could add glitter, you could, I mean, we could go on and on. I don't think black is too heavy. I would just do little bits at a time. Like on this cup, I was worried about, a little bit worried about putting the black on here, but these ones are like perfect stripes. So when this one was spinning, I literally, this cup is spinning and I had black on my brush and I just held it right here and it spun, you know, and it went all the way around into a circle. So if you're gonna try black, I mean, I'll put a little black on here. I'm gonna get crazy. Watch. Just do little bits at a time, because you can always go back and add more black, but once it's on there, just like anything else. I think I have black, let's see. If anything, it would just give it some depth, I think. Mercy, I think I'm just too hot and too old. I need a clip. I don't have one. No clips. Like a clamp or something. Let's see. That might hold it for a minute. Okay, black. So I got my black. And since I want to do like a precise line, I'm gonna switch to like a little pointy brush. Although that's not pointy. Here we go. I think this is like a 1.5. So this is just a little one. I'm gonna dip the tip. I'm gonna dip the tip in my ink, right? So that I'm gonna get a smaller, more precise drop of ink than if I use my flat brush. My hair looks really dark like this. Yeah. Oh, yes, Gigi, thank you, Destin. So here goes some black. I'll do the black down here on the purple, or yeah, towards the bottom. A drip, so there's the alcohol, boom, here's the black. Boom, did it go? See? Now if I wanted to thin out that, if I wanted to thin it out, I just put little drops of alcohol on it. It's not mixing as well. But, can you see? So, I think the answer to your question is the black is not gonna move like the gold did. Is the gold a mixative? So if you wanna add the black in a highlight like the gold in lieu of the gold, I would mix it in a container, like a little cup. If you were gonna put the black, unless you wanna add if you wanna add the black like we did the gold, I would put some alcohol in here, very little, then like put like a teaspoon of alcohol in a little container of some sort, a drop of black, a pointy brush, and work with it like you're adding a detail. That's what I would do. It doesn't spread the same as the gold does. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna thin out this black that I put on here. So I could put some details with black like up in here as it's spinning around. Did it go around? Can't tell. Here we go. It's pretty though. That's what I mean. See, now I'm gonna start getting crazy. Oh, so pretty. Oh, now I'm just gonna get crazy. Now you guys have unleashed. You've unleashed my craziness. Stop. Okay, don't watch this part because I might really just mess up everything now. Hey, the best part of art is experimenting. Okay, so don't do that. That was just for fun. Oh, you didn't ruin it at all. I love the black. I just put some details up at the top. I just didn't want to make it too confusing for y'all. So I just added some, you can't really even hardly tell. It's almost like a dark purple. But any darker colors that you add at this point, all that's gonna do is add depth, which could be a good thing. So like I put a couple drops of black up here at the top. I don't know if, not drops, but I had the black on my brush and I did some thin in there. See, like you can see, maybe you could see it right here. You didn't ruin it at all. It's beautiful. I like it. I just didn't want to sit here and indulge too much because I don't want you guys to be like, so what? Because, you know, sometimes you get too much information on stuff and it's all over the place. So I hope that you guys try this. It's super pretty. I hope you try it. I'm going to sit here and play with it. Well, no, I'm probably going to, yes. I'm going to probably sit here and play with it and ruin it, but I'll try not to. You didn't ruin my cup at all. It is beautiful. There's lots of things too. You could mist it. This is just alcohol. If I wanted to get like, sort of like a bubble. See? Can you see that? I do that sometimes when I'm doing florals. It makes it look like there's dew on the petals. So can you see the little bubble type things? Here they come. They're coming around right on the purple. Just like you were working on paper. That's what I mean by I can sit here and go all day. I mean, I can't go all day, but I could do inks all day. All right. Really? There we go. I like to mist them too. I mean, you can get like a really cool water underwater scene, a geode look going. There's lots of things. I missed my inks a lot. Not a lot, but I missed them. I hope that helped. My hair looks just stupendous. I hope you guys give it a try. Another thing, you could always add like not white additive, the white, it is a mixative. If you want it to add, if you wanted to lighten anything up. Does that make sense? So I'm sure we could show you how to do these too, more of just the straight lines. But that's it. Just wanted to show you guys. I hope that you try it. Ooh, I like it. Okay, on to the next. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. I look like I have a toupee on. What's up with, what is this? Oh, that's the shadow. Okay. Hey, I look like I have a toupee on. Like a dark-haired Trump. I'm so sorry. Please don't be offended. Please don't be offended. I meant it in a completely jokingly way. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day. I will come back later, and I know Destin has some stuff she wants to show us. Right, Destin? Right? Look at them all glistening in sweat. Okay. We'll show you how to do the straight-lined one. And then I can also add glitter to parts of this cup. I mean, the options are endless, just like with any cup y'all are making. It's crazy how much stuff you can do. Okay, so goodbye. I'll check in with you guys later. Goodbye. I don't know. Bye, Deanne.